If you haven't seen it, Undercover Boss is a long-running CBS reality show where a high-ranking corporate officer dons a disguise to infiltrate their own business. While inside, they work alongside their employees in an effort to reinvigorate their brand's identity and see what's really going on. Skeptics believe that many aspects of the show are fake or exaggerated, but producers and most of the show's participants insist otherwise. We've uncovered the truth. Bosses choose their aliases. Undercover Boss uses the genius tactic of pretending to be some sort of win-your-own-franchise game show, complete with a fake host. All of this is to prevent employees from figuring out the real deal. Amazingly, few workers see through the flimsy facade. Maybe it's because in every episode, the boss has to wear a disguise to avoid being recognized. According to a TV.com interview with producer Eli Holtzman, the bosses are allowed to choose their disguises. These usually involve wigs, makeup, and fake facial hair that looks like it was purchased at a post-Halloween clearance sale. This leads us to believe that the businesses either choose the most gullible employees possible, or they actually know what's going on but play along in hopes of being generously rewarded later on. Workplace scenarios aren't completely staged. One of the biggest questions people ask is whether the boss's on-the-job scenarios are completely staged. The answer is no, and yes. According to Holtzman, the show tries to pick job scenarios that will look good on TV, but the bosses don't know exactly where they're going to go. They don't know exactly with whom they're going to work because we want them to have an authentic experience. Sometimes that even includes getting fired by the employees.
To, let you go.
Just for that?
Yeah.
Though the Emmy-winning series conducts recon of employees and workplaces to look for potentially juicy opportunities, the resulting footage can still be pretty spontaneous. Bosses' covers have been blown.
You look like the president of Fatburger.
And there have been more than a few occasions when a boss broke cover to fire someone on the spot. A particularly awful Boston market employee named Ronnie was immediately canned after this awful admission.
I literally hate customers more than anything in the entire world.
Which was only slightly more terrible than this one.
I'm like the Kim Kardashian of most marketing. It's great. So.
A worker at Retro Fitness had such a terrible attitude that she eventually started dropping F-bombs in front of the incognito CEO, effectively tendering her accidental resignation. Does the show stage some of this stuff? Sure, but the consequences can be all too real. Employees are carefully selected. Fans of the show will recognize that chosen employees often have some type of hidden similarity to their boss. Both may have a family member coping with a similar illness, or have fallen behind on their mortgage. While these coincidences aren't the specific reason employees are selected, Holtzman admits that they're picky. The show will always choose the most interesting employees to make it to air, whether their stories make you laugh or cry, or just mad.
I'm an ass, I'm a kid, I'm harsh, I'm over the top. Fear equals respect. You're gonna have to rule with an iron fist, man.
The takeaway here, if you and your coworker are the best burger flippers in the kitchen, make sure that he or she isn't secretly a war hero or stand-up comedian before Undercover Boss shows up. And if they are, learn some really good jokes.
Fine and simple. I am a quotation device. Oh my God.
Companies actually use the lessons they learn. Anytime a terrible employee is featured on the show, you can count on the boss to talk about creating some new type of training program. Audiences love to watch a branch manager geek out on his staff, but is it just lip service? Some companies have actually taken positive steps to drive change, such as providing a financial incentive for employees to improve. Checker CEO Rick Silva started giving bonuses directly to employees on the front lines, and not just the branch managers. Dan DeZio, CEO of Philly Pretzel Company, discovered a popular product after uncovering a rogue franchise that was selling an unsanctioned pepperoni pretzel roll. DeZio wasn't pleased with the freewheeling franchise, but he also took its transgression as a sign he'd lost touch. Not every boss is thrilled. Some of the undercover bigwigs found their TV experience to be pretty rough. Steve Joyce, CEO of Choice Hotels International, felt exploited by the show's producers. Joyce told the Wall Street Journal that they look for something personal to torture you with. For me, my mom had died from Parkinson's a few years before, and I hadn't really dealt with it. So every chance they got, they brought that up. Joyce also felt the show made it look like he didn't know what it actually took to do the job, despite the fact that he'd worked his way up through the ranks. They deliberately sabotage you so you don't do well and you look stupid, he said. They had me cleaning the pool in Orlando in late June at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was like 110 degrees. Joyce did say the experience forced him to confront his pent-up emotions regarding his mother's death in a positive way, saying, "My mother made me promise to always have a place for the family to get together for vacations. I bought a beach place 2 weeks after that show." We're not sure that buying extra houses is a coping mechanism available to everyone, though. There are dozens of international spinoffs. Like a lot of American television, Undercover Boss started in the UK. Then it crossed the pond to become a beefed-up version of the concept, which will never die so long as the networks can still extract money from it. This is why CBS, TLC, and Oprah's own network have all carried the US version of the show. They've also aired Undercover Boss Abroad, which features some of the many international versions of the programs. One particularly memorable episode from our usually congenial northern neighbors featured Canadian CEO Rick McKicklis breaking character and, well...
No, come on! Employees come first. You are disrespectful to the brand, and you know what? I'm gonna come in, and I'm gonna make it right.
The Huffington Post asked McKicklis how producers felt about him blowing the show's cover. They told me to. I said I can't go in there. I have a crazy temper. I don't need an assault charge. Despite the film crew's instigation, no assault charges were issued, and McKicklis said his business is doing better than ever thanks to the show. Not the best intentions. The most beloved part of every Undercover Boss episode is the ending. The head honcho reveals his true identity and starts making it rain with cash, vacations, and college tuition payments for deserving employees. It's a tearjerker every time, even if it is a cheap emotional trick. The reward concept seems straightforward, but CEO Doug Guller of Bikinis, a Hooters-style bar and grill, didn't really get the drift. As a reward, Guller offered one employee,
Am I getting a free pair of boobies today?
Is that what you want?
Yes. I want a full C.
but only if she stayed with the company for 6 more months and was a rock star. He also fired an employee for not wanting to wear a bikini on international TV. Wow. Even for reality TV, that's sleazy with an extra side of sleaze. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more videos like the one you just saw, and leave us a comment to let us know which Undercover Boss moment is your favorite.